Yeah, let's do map 12 of NoSp2 map. Of NoSp2, yeah. Make sure your back's to the wall so you actually pick up the armor as you fall down. Yeah, this opening part, I just run over here quickly so that I get the scary part of the opening out of the way. Which is, getting these boys to fight. Sometimes they don't fight well, and it's like, wow, I just wasted like 5 minutes doing the rest of the room, so why bother? Just do this first, let them fight. This level overall is not that hard, but it's got one room that's just ridiculous. And if you've played this before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But until then, it's actually one of the slower paced levels of NoSp2 in my opinion. Yeah, even though spider demons take blast damage in this WOD, plasma's still not a bad choice, just because of pain state, which is pretty important when you're fighting that enemy. Next up, we're gonna spawn in the Psy Bruisers and Vials. Actually, no, it's just one Vial, no Psy Bruisers yet. Yeah, it's just kill the Hell Knights. It takes a while because there are a lot of them. I guess you can try getting the Cyber Demon in fight by showing your face and ducking behind the door, but if I don't even know if that helps, because then they sort of crowd around the Cyber and they're not close to where you're shooting more than the Cyber is. It's difficult to say. This will be one of the last levels that I have issues with wondering if I got all the kills. But this will be one of the levels where I have issues wondering if I got all the kills. Because we're going to have an Archvile near Lost Souls. And he's guaranteed to... Well, I guess not guaranteed. You never know for sure. Let's say all but guaranteed to be reviving a lot of them. So you might have noticed all those vials, like in the corners. They're not that bad. I mean, you don't really want to be risking it, but hey. They're not that aggressive other than the beginning. I hate this section. I don't get it. It's so weird. I'm still not entirely sure how they move. I think the conveyor pulls them from one end to the other, and when they get to the other end, they teleport forwards. I'm not totally sure. I always like doing that sort of thing, where I know there are vials, I could just wake them up with Splash. It helps a lot. And there's some Cacos here. But with the Cybruisers, we can have them help out a little bit, but mostly we're gonna have to do it ourselves. Anyway, this room, it's so difficult, and this was, I think, the best I've ever done in this room. That was beautiful. I didn't even get hit. Or maybe once or twice, but most of my health is still there. And it's so uncomfortable because there are cyber demons and revenants that can see you from that corner. And you've got the cyber here. It's really uncomfortable, but you take your time, it'll be okay. This was honestly one of the more frustrating maps to run because how tedious the beginning is. Like this section, that's a really difficult, when you teleport in, you have to clear out those imps. It's very difficult to do because you've got enemies attacking from multiple directions, not much armor. But then you have to take all this time to be plasming cybers and dealing with these revenants who are awkward to shoot. And you've got the Cybruisers, who I'm pretty sure I take like forever to kill them. Yeah. Look, that's like 2 or 3 Cybruisers. I don't have the BFG. So I have to be very slowly whittling them down with plasma. So yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth for a little bit. I guess I'll talk about the rest of the map while we're here, because the difficult parts are like very quick. We're gonna get lots of Hell Knights in front of us when we teleport into the next room. And the thing is, I have no idea if the reason I die sometimes is luck. You know, the rocket launcher does do damage randomly. And I don't know if it's because I'm just like bad. And like maybe there's some optimal way to be firing rockets so the splash is distributed most optimally. I don't know. I don't know. But whatever the case, that's what's going to happen in the next room. Truth is, I think it's just because RNG. And now we get to Plasma. Yet another cyber demon. I felt like there was drop-off. It seemed like it took so many cells. It should only take about 180. Oh. It was almost exactly 180. I guess I'm misremembering how long it took. Let's see if I go for the vials. Nah, I just leave them. So yeah, we've got some rockets, we got some Hell Knights. I don't know what to say about this. I'm pretty sure it's just random, whether or not you die. Sometimes it's super easy to deal with. Sometimes I have to like dance carefully around the last barons. Sometimes I die. I don't know. I think it's just random. This maybe Decino will make a video about the optimal strategy to rocketing Hell Knights that are directly in front of you. But I think it's just random that I died here sometimes. And in this case, I almost died. Ended up happening, I was only barely able to get them away from me. And now I run past all of the Archviles and do my best to just break through the Pain Elementals. Yeah, isn't that crazy? There are 5 Archviles over there? Insane. But we just run past, and I'm gonna let this area speak for itself. Now I'm still gonna talk about it. It's really hard. I feel like I tried everything in this room. It's like, do you go for the Cybers first, the Revenants? Neither. And if you go for neither, how in the world are you surviving? If you go for any of them, how are you gonna have enough ammo? And remember those Archviles we skipped? They can maneuver into a teleporter that's designed for co-op and backtracking, I guess. But I think co-op. And that means they show up here and they can revive the cyber demons and each other once you start killing them. So this room is... it's really something else. I wish I could say much of a strategy other than try a bunch of stuff, hope that it works out. But what's even worse is the walls open up and then Archviles start reviving everything. I don't know, man. I really wish I could give more strategy for this area. It's just hard. That's my advice. It's difficult. And you get to choose what maps you play. Anyway. Remember all those vials I ran away from in that Hell Knight Baron hallway? They can still teleport in. And do I really want to start the next room when they can still teleport in? Because if I do, you know, I'm risking fighting the other monsters while Archviles show up. And those aren't just any Archviles. They're Archviles that resurrect cyber demons and each other. So I give them some deference. And I wait for them to show up. Look, even if you only leave one vial behind, that could legitimately be game over. Because one vial revives another, and now you have 2 vials. And now, guess what? You have logistic growth. Growth proportional to both how many vials there are and proportional to how far away you are from carrying capacity, which in this case is, I don't know if it's exactly 5. Yeah, that's what I mean. Imagine I was fighting the next room, looking into that next door, and then all of a sudden, Archvile shows up, instantly revives the cyber. What am I even doing if that happens? I guess killing the Archvile, and by the time I do, he revives another 2. You really don't want to be messing around here. So this is the next area we were trying to open up. I'll say this, it's not difficult. It's not difficult to do this section. It's almost more important that you avoid those teleporting monsters from behind you that we skipped from earlier. You always want to simplify. But outside of that, you do as much infighting as you can, use some rockets if you can. You'll basically never run out of rockets. But you know, if you're really getting overwhelmed, or if there are revenants are a high priority, of course. Use BFG. You know, it really depends on how much ammo you have left over. And you might have noticed, I was trying to use more of the BFG ammo at the end of the room compared to the center when I was fighting all the cybers. That's so that I could pick up extra BFG here during the fight. If I remember correctly, this ended up working out really well. I was pretty happy with how this run turned out. As difficult as all these sections were, the one I get to pose, the one I finished, everything worked out really smoothly. BFGing weak barons, because, you know, all the rockets, and you get to take out more than 3 per hit. It's great. Good stuff. Now for the cyber demons. All coming from the same direction. Not as bad as you might think, because we've saved up all that ammo. But maybe this is a ridiculous opinion I have because I've been playing too much NoSp2, and in reality, this is a lot of cybers. I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, I'm so good at cybers. You'll see how I handle things when we get to map 15. I'm sure everyone's been waiting for map 15 if you're familiar with this set. Now the only thing we have left is cleanup. Those Cybruisers, they get crushed. And I think the Archviles get crushed. I don't even know if there are Archviles in that area. I think there are. Whatever the case, if there were any, I don't have to kill them. Now I just clear this guy out, so there's really nothing for me to worry about anymore. Now it's just the vials. Oh no, the enemies that I skipped. All those Archviles I ran away from. And of course, I gotta check everywhere because I don't know. I don't know how many monsters I've killed because the wolf monster counter does not work. I suppose they could have fixed it in one of the more recent versions, but I don't have. I didn't download that. I don't think they did. I'd have to check, I guess. But I didn't see it on the patch notes. So yeah, these are the guys I skipped. The pain elementals don't usually teleport into the next area. They're too big. And luckily the Archviles did teleport away, so I don't have to deal with them over here. So there we go. That is a level. And it looks like I actually leave instead of checking. Very nice. One of the levels that gave me the most trouble so far, I'll say that much. Pretty difficult. Shorter than I thought when I was playing it. Okay, bye.